Yo, 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 yo. What is up? What is up, guys? I hope everyone is doing well on this late Wednesday night. Hope everyone's doing pretty good today. I didn't know if I was gonna stream today or tomorrow. We might stream Friday. The scheduling was all fucked up because I literally um had a lot to do and the shakedown scheduling was messed up too. So yeah. This video is sponsored by BetUS. The stream is sponsored by BetUS, so definitely go check them out if you guys have not. So yeah, we have a big weekend this weekend, man. So we haven't really talked since Nakobe Dean's injury. We haven't really talked um since really everything that's been going on, man. And going into this game on Saturday, the passing game for the Philadelphia Eagles, Kellen Moore going back to the Cowboys, a whole bunch of stuff going on. But let's say hi to everybody in the chat, by the way. We got Dave D with the super chat first of the day. Says, hope you're having a great day. You too, Dave. Hope you're having a great day as well. Appreciate that super, man. It means a lot. Jimbo, we got Elias, we got Donald. Um, Donald Shavers says, the crap I saw about Morrow being the answer to the Eagles Super Bowl run had me rolling. He is depth behind Trotter and Byrne. That's it. Nothing else. Yeah, well, who is saying that Nicholas Morrow is anybody, bro? We got him from somebody's practice squad. Nicholas Morrow was here last year. I wasn't a big fan of Nicholas Morrow. They brought him in because he knows the guys. He somewhat knows the scheme that is similar. I can't say it. It was almost the same, not almost the same as we did last year, but it's a similar type thing. So I understand why they did it. It is what it is. Um, you know, that's where we're at right now. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. getting the start is a big thing. This Nakobe Dean injury was fucking brutal, man. That sucks. A Pelotor, I mean, that injury is pretty damn bad. Okay. He comes back next year. That's a 9-10 month injury. Okay. Nakobe Dean comes back, what, October? I mean, and then it's gonna take him like 4 weeks just to get acclimated to just to playing again. That's a whole nother aspect of him even coming back. So now it's like your incentive right now is to sign Zach Bond to a big deal, and you're hoping that Trotter Jr., is getting thrown into this playoff run right now. Which, you know what? Sometimes you got to throw players into the fire and see how they react. But I think everybody wanted Jeremiah Trotter Jr. to start in this game. Everybody wanted him to do some good things. You know what I mean? Um, I ain't complaining about it. You know what I mean? If Fangio feels really good about Jeremiah Trotter Jr. going to this game, I feel pretty damn good about it myself. I'll feel pretty good about it too. So that's a great thing. We got Clark, remember, for 24 months. What's going on, man? 2 full years. Snow game. I'm ultra hyped for this game. I can't wait. We're going to lean on the Rams, physical domination, trench warfare. Yeah. I mean, even watching the Vikings, the Vikings gave up after that second quarter, bro. They gave up. I mean, the Vikings probably had a couple calls. One of the fumbles didn't go their way. The face mask call. They looked like they literally had no self urgency. I thought they gave up entirely. And looks like Sam Darnold turned to a fucking pumpkin, and that's pretty much what happened. In that game. So, I'm not afraid of them at all. They're not getting 9 sacks on Jalen Hurts. I don't care. I don't care if they have Fisk or Jared Verse. I don't care what they have in that defense. Okay, but obviously this passing game needs to be, the game design needs to be fixed. I mean, you can get away with it right now, but when you get into like an NFC Championship game, when you get into the fucking Super Bowl, your offense cannot look like that. Okay. Last time the Eagles faced the Rams was when they were pretty much healthy at that point for the first time all season, and they looked pretty good. I mean, 14 of the Rams' points were really given to them because of stupid penalties. But the Eagles had their best run game of the year during that game with Saquon Barkley at 255 yards for that game. So oh yeah, it's gonna come down to the trenches, man. But I want the short passing game. I mean, I wouldn't mind the screen game either, but I want some play action fake under center. I want a lot of different things. I want some quick plays, man, because like I said, after seeing like Dan Orlovsky's video on some of the tape, guys couldn't get open. Green Bay, Hurts said today that Green Bay was, doing different things that he's never seen. It's like, bro, then why wasn't Kellen Moore or Nick or whoever's running this offense at this point making these adjustments, dude, to get this passing game right. I mean, it looked god awful. Besides the beginning of the game, which is a great start. Now you got a great start to a game in the first quarter, and then you look shitty the rest of the game. But at the end of the day, they won. But you can't look like this later on. I mean, you got to this offense has got to come on, Grandpa, got to hurry up now. Got to get this thing rolling. Get this thing rolling. What's going on, Broad Street? I got your email. I'll email you back. By the way, I saw it today. I'll probably email you tomorrow when I have more time, and I'll message you some stuff. So I appreciate it. Appreciate the email, dude. I'll help you out. Mark said, everybody calm down. We're going to be good. Retrust the defense go off, and the Commanders go to beat Detroit. Yeah, I mean, I don't honestly, dude. I don't care about facing Detroit. I hope that you know what. I don't even care if Washington beats Detroit. If they do, then great. And the Eagles will have a home game for the NFC Championship game. I mean, it's crazy how like the Eagles got the second seed, and like the Eagles are going to have home games throughout the playoffs. Okay, and I don't mind being on the road at all. I've said this a million times, but having the Commanders and if that happens, beat Detroit, and then they're going to get hyped up going to that game against the Eagles. Trust me, if the Commanders beat the Lions, they'll think that at that point they're the Super Bowl favorites against us entirely. And I'm telling you right now, that's not going to happen. Third time's the charm, and the Eagles will get some revenge and get some things going against that dirty ass fucking team. So we'll be on our shit, We'll be on our shit, no doubt. Lon says BG got the same injury. He took almost 2 seasons. Yeah, patellar tendon is like no fucking joke, bro. I know one person in real life that has that injury that I know, and the guy doesn't play sports, but let me tell you, bro, like the rehab is like fucking ridiculous. So now, even if you get him back during like the middle of the season, it's going to take him like another month. And at that point, what are we going to look like at linebackers? Trotter Jr., Trotter Jr. is going to have a lot of reps with the starters, it looks like. Of course, they'll get an undrafted free agent. They'll have more bodies at linebacker during the offseason program like they always do. But they should look a little bit, better, hopefully. But it just sucks, man. The Kobe Dean can't catch a fucking break. Can never catch a damn break, and it really sucks. Carson Kelmore's offense was vanilla. It felt like Nick's playbook. It really did, especially the down and distant plays where you're not running at specific times where you should be running, or you're taking Saquon Barkley out of the game and having Gainwell in there. Like for these crucial moments, they really need Saquon Barkley. And I didn't really like that either. You know what I mean? Yo, Brian, what's going on, my dude? He says every time the media comes to criticize the offense for either the running game or the passing game, the offense comes out and makes everyone look stupid. So I have faith in the offense. No, it's just motivation at the end of the day. As much as they could try to ignore, if they could try to ignore some of the stuff that's going on with the, with the outside noise, they're not going to be able to, they won't be able to not hear anything, but they'll hear some stuff and they're going to prove it out there. So that's what I hope they're going to do. Pat says, I'm not worried about anything. Hurts will be fine. AG will be fine. And the defense will be fine. Not worried either. What's up, Rico? What's going on, man? Lon says, someone on another Eagles channel said that possibly that Game Kellen wanted Nick to make the calls so he can unleash the better plays for these next. I don't believe that the Eagles played like shit on purpose. Like that's just so stupid to do that. Like, why would you even do that? Like, why would you risk your wild card weekend? Why would you risk the entire weekend coming up with Nick's a different game plan because you want to back pocket some of your plays for a better team? I mean, that makes no fucking sense. It's not you. It's just if you heard it, then I just don't believe it. I mean, I would fire somebody that did shit like that. Like, I can understand you're keeping some plays in your back pocket, but making your offense look that terrible. I mean, not that terrible. We won the game. I get it, but you can't go into the Super Bowl looking like that. You just can't do that. Not like that. No, we know that they can play better. That was really just, shouldn't have been where we were in that particular moment. So we got Dre Diesel with the super chat. So much, man. Appreciate it. Says, hey, Shakes, how you feeling? Damn. Kobe Dean out, bro. I feel for him from doubting him to loving. He's balling to this now. It's heartbreaking. He won't be back next year. Moment of silence for my guy. Totally. Um, it sucks, man. I don't know if Nakobe stayed and was healthy. I don't know if they would re-sign Zach Bond. If it's the other way around, I have no idea. But it's a shit loss, man. It's a shitty loss. I was really upset, dude. Like when I found out about it, I was really upset about it the entire day. I was like, "Damn, dude! Like for this to happen to that guy doesn't hurt this team maybe a little bit, but I don't think it's gonna hurt. It might not hurt us as much as we think it's going to. Trotter Jr. just hasn't played enough. Like I really don't have an analysis on him. Like he's flashed a lot when he's coming to some games. But as long as Zach Bond is going to get the green dot, obviously call the plays and do his thing, control the defense. If Fangio feels really good about Trotter Jr., then I feel pretty damn good going into these games. And Trotter Jr. now has the opportunity to really make a name for himself, that to be his own player, and get things rolling. So Dean's not going to play next year at this point. Like next year's the last year of his deal. Like, so what do you do in this situation? The good thing about the situation is you could sign Nakobe Dean for literally no money. I mean, that's going to be like, I think he'll make more money than what a third round pick would be making. So they'll pay him, but it won't be like anything crazy. So sometimes these injuries are good, but they're bad. They're bad because we need them right now. They're good now because now it's like, okay, well, were you going to pay Zach Bond and Nakobe Dean? Probably not. I don't know what the plan was going forward with this front office, but you're hoping that they do something else. So I think Zach Bond obviously has been. I mean, you can't ignore that. I mean, you can't let another linebacker go. And now what do you let Zach Bond walk? Nakobe Dean's not even playing next year. You have an injury in November, December, January. Like you're screwed for next year, especially a serious injury like. And then coming off that injury, he's not going to be the same player, not yet. I mean, but this the patellar tendon tear that's a major fucking, and it sucks, man. I'd rather him have a fucking ACL at this point. That is like pretty fucking bad. It's he's either gonna come back a better player or a bad player. Like that's what it comes down to, and it's horrible. Elias, I just feel like we're gonna pull away as this game goes on a similar like last Rams game. McVay always has those guys starting fast. First couple of drives, just have to hold them off to the start. Yeah, that's definitely true. But like I said, it's been weeks. They've looked a lot better. We beat them when they started to get hot, and the Eagles have gotten better too. It's really we need to have another fast start, but we need to continue that through the first half and not look dead throughout the second quarter. We need a really good start in this game, no doubt. No doubt about it. We got LT. What's going on, man? Appreciate the super chat, my friends. It hurts that JD could earn fan bears respect from an NFC. Yeah, I mean they will, but at the end of the day, I think Washington's still going to be favored over the Eagles, regardless. Even if they beat the Rams, the media always finds something to talk about. I'm already hearing like Jalen Hurts is the worst quarterback in the playoffs. I mean, it's just fucking. I mean, you're winning games. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're winning games. You could lose games, but he needs to have 400 yards fucking passing and 3 touchdowns. Like he's got to extend plays for fucking 10 minutes and make these big acrobatic fucking throws for him to get respect because of flash, because of a fucking beauty pageant of how a quarterback fucking does flashy plays in a game. Like I can't stand shit like that. It's just so annoying. Obviously, like I was happy that we won last week, but we're gonna nitpick at things, and I think we all agree this passing game needs to be better. I mean, that's just to go into a game like that. Your offensive line didn't play last week. Your starters didn't play last week. Sorry, the Giants game. They didn't play the Giants game. Your quarterback missed 3.5 weeks. You got him prepared on pretty much a half a week. Okay. So maybe there wasn't much in the game plan because of the short week that Jalen had because of the coming off protocol. Because how many days of practice do you have? A few. It wasn't much. I mean, 3.5 weeks, not being around the team, not throwing to the team, not nothing. But it wasn't that. it was more than that. It was literally game plan, and they couldn't get much of a game plan with him for that week. I would have to say on short time. That's probably the only thing I could really come up with when it comes to that, you know. But I could be wrong though. I don't know. Carson, we have to find a way to get our receivers involved. I don't like it. The defense seems to know where they're going to be. Seems like Nick all day. The 49ers said they knew exactly what plays were going to be. Yeah, I get that. You know, if it's Nick's offense, that's what happens sometimes, unfortunately. And it looks like Nick-esque, where there's no creativity. There's no guys creating fake picks for other guys to get free. And we've seen that with Kellen Moore's offense. And this just seems so fucking average, generic, dry, bland. That's just what it was, man. Just horrible. It is what it is. CW Gear with the super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. He said, Joey, don't worry. I'm a mechanic. Just give me 5 minutes. Duct tape and chewing gum. I'll get Dean's knee fixed. Right. I'm kidding. Of course, we need Dean. I feel bad for the kid. Yeah, I feel horrible. Like, I feel horrible. Like, that win feels good last week, but man, like, suffering the consequences of Nakobe Dean being out is one of the worst things, man, for a young player, too. This guy hasn't had a break coming off injuries at all. He's been injured every fucking year he's been here. 3 years he's been injured. Pretty damn much, and it's horrible to go through that. You know what I mean? So you're getting ready for life without Nakobe Dean now. Life without Nakobe Dean, the rest of the playoffs, and obviously next year. You know what I mean? So the Eagles have to find another linebacker. If they sign Zach Bond, they're going to have to find another linebacker. And you're hoping to God that Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is going to come into these games and he's going to play really well. And you're hoping for good things, man. Like Jeremiah Trotter Jr. has his moment now, and I feel pretty good about it. I mean, I think it's going to take a little bit of time, but it might not take as much time as we all think. Like, what if Trotter Jr. some things just happen, man. Some injuries are a blessing in disguise. As much as it sucks not to have Nakobe Dean, but uh, Trotter Jr. with his roots and where he comes from, and this could create something just absolutely insane. You know what I mean? Well, we'll see though. Appreciate that super, man, so much, CW. It's Julian Constance with BG and Dean out. BG was the heavy hitter, and we did not have Smitty, but I feel like our defense is way better than what people think. Also, we got same cheating refs call. Yeah, so Sean Smith, the same referee that kicked Chauncey out of that game with the 2 verbal personal fouls, he's going to be refereeing this fucking game on Sunday, which is just sucks. So I think Chauncey redeemed himself, and I think he's, kind of simmer down a little bit, and unfortunately he probably has to because he has no choice. But it is what it is, man. Not in our favor, but we have to beat it, man. We got to beat it. It's Judy Khan with the appreciate. Remember for 8 months says I feel like we are gonna win due to. So what's the weather supposed to be? Supposed to snow that day? Supposed to snow? Let's see. Adam with the super chat. What's going on, man? Appreciate it so much. He says, I really got to ask, how much do fans really think it's on Jalen? It's been a story all year about long developing routes. His coaching, not saying Jalen is without fault, but God, it's not all on him. Yeah, I totally know that. I think what happened was after the Eagles lost the Super Bowl and the season that went on that year in 22, I think every Eagles fan now expects the most excellence from him, where Jalen Hurts doesn't have to be to throw over 400 yards and have 3 touchdowns and have all these crazy gunslinger stats. He only has to play obviously average, and I think that's what's really expecting of him with the weapons that he has at this offense and what they could do. For the people that just want to hate on Hurts and not look at the coaching staff, I think it's obvious that they're just Hurts haters at this point. I've had my criticisms of him, and I nitpick at things that he does that kind of annoys me at times, whether he rolls out of the pocket too fast and it isn't really when he rolls out of the pocket too fast and he's obviously not he's not patient in the pocket at times. There's been little things here or there, but realistically, people are bitching about 3 or 4 passes he could have made in that Packers game in the wild card weekend. Okay. You're talking 3, 4 passes, bro. And like they'll take those three or like people are pissed off over 3 or 4 passes. He probably could have dumped it off, could have threw it to Saquon, could have done something else. He could have hit someone on a curl route last week. Um, but at the end of the day, it's like I look at the entire game together, and guys weren't open, and it was a shitty game plan. I mean, now you got to worry about Kellen Moore going to now. Kellen Moore, on top of having interviews with the Saints, with the Jags, now there's the Cowboys are interviewing a bunch of people now. They just interviewed Robert Saleh. They've interviewed, that DC from the Bills. That used to be the DC from the Bills. Um, so, Deion Sanders, people that they know and have close relationships with, like, and then you got to deal with a fucking quarterback now unfortunately, he should have been running he should have been calling the protections a couple years ago because Kelsey was taking over all of that. Okay, that's the first problem. Like he should have been calling all those and putting as much on his plate as possible. I know Kelsey was trying to do the right thing to make it easier on Jalen, but you know, it's got to get better. It's got to get better than this. But we'll see how it goes, man. We'll see how it goes. But I hate how it's literally back and forth, like because like other quarterbacks will not have good quarters, will not have good games, and Jalen has one bad quarter, one bad game, one bad fucking 2 minutes of a fucking quarter. I mean, and he's crucified for it. And I think that's really fucked up. And that's just me. Okay, Justin Herbert threw 4 picks in a fucking game, and he's been ranked higher than Jalen Hurts to every fucking analyst that's out there. And yet they still baby him. They still fucking had every excuse in the book that, blaming something else. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man. We got Adam with the super chat. What's going on, dude? Appreciate it so much. He said, one more thing. When was winning not enough? Our QB wins more often than not. I get you don't like someone is fine, but man, never seen guys more heavily blamed. I don't know. After the 2017 Super Bowl, I don't know where these fucking fans have come from. Either, and I don't say that you need to play football to know, but at the end of the day, dude, like this is a one and done moment for your fucking team. Like this is a one and done moment. You know what I mean? You can't like if like I don't care how you like you're telling me okay so I'm guessing the 2017 defense was really bad in that Super Bowl because what the fuck did they do that Super Bowl? Absolutely nothing. But our offense put over 500 yards of fucking offense. The Patriots put over 500 yards of offense, like over 1,000 yards of the Super Bowl of offense. I don't think that's happened. I don't think that's ever happened in a long time. But nobody was bitching about the defense and how bad they were in that Super Bowl because they were bad. You know what I mean? If they lost the game, sure, people would be bitching about it. But like Josh Allen could, like, I remember it was a Monday night game. Josh Allen with Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen had 3 rushing touchdowns, 3 passing touchdowns, and still lost the game. And he got glorified for still being MVP. Like, not even saying anything bad, not crucifying the quarterback for, nothing. I mean, absolutely nothing. It just pisses me off, man. It really just annoys the hell out of me. I hate that. I hate the favoritism sometimes. It's just really annoying. Really, really annoying. So that's what happens. But I appreciate that super chat, man. I don't get it, man. I don't know where some of these Eagle fans came from. It's gotten worse. Ever since I've been a content creator from 2016, when Carson Wentz started for this team, like literally like after 17, bro, it seems like everybody is a bunch of fucking know-it-alls now. Like everybody just knows everything. Me, I give my opinion and I'm either right, I'm wrong, and if I'm wrong, I humble myself, I eat my crow, and that's fucking it. Simple as that. We got Clark, man. He's gifted 1 Joey Shake 72 membership. Thank you so much, man. Let me see who got gifted here. We got Pat Ryan was gifted a membership. And we have I thought somebody else did one too. Dank Bird Gang gifted a membership as well. Who else got the membership? Marcus Big Mom got the membership nicely. If you guys have, well, I guess my gifted memberships are back up now. Are my gifted memberships back up? Because they weren't even around. Just kind of weird. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Can't complain about that. Can't complain about that. Um, yeah, if you guys haven't, click the link. If you guys want the extra draft reactions content and extra content for the off season, I do a lot of videos that are only exclusive for members only. So click the link up top for extra draft reaction, things like that. Doesn't matter what tier it is, it's supporting the channel, obviously, but you get the extra content as well. So if you click that link up above, for literally $2 a month, you can get a shit ton of videos throughout the month. So definitely become a member if you guys have it, and hold on to it, because we're going to be doing a lot of content. So it's going to be kind of crazy. But I appreciate so much from everybody. Armand says bandwagon is real. What's going on, Kenny? What's going on, man? Mr. National says Jay Trotter Jr. sighting on the way. And people are pumped up, man. People are pumped up. See, me, I wasn't one of those Eagle fans where I was like, we gotta get Jeremiah Trotter Jr. I wasn't on the bandwagon of that. I wasn't on the train for that moment. Me, I really didn't care. I mean, it is what it is. You know, they're picking him because of his name, and that's it. And hopefully he could show something. I really wasn't on that train so much when it came to Jeremiah Trotter Jr., but it was obviously an emotional moment. Um, you know, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? Let me put this other thing up before it screws up, and I got to start all over again. Adam says we probably have a better chance of getting James Pierce from Tennessee or something along those lines. I saw that he just declared for the draft today, which is great. Appreciate it, Pat, so much. Because let's get Joey to 30K. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I mean, maybe we'll get it. We'll see what happens. Yo, Chalk Up Sports, what's going on, man? Says, yo, Joey, great stream, bro, and I agree. If possible, I'd love to hop on for 50 minutes to kick it and speak my piece, big dog. No pressure. Yeah, let me I'm on OBS right now. Let me try to get the StreamYard going. It might just be a voice thing. I don't think people are gonna see you. I need to figure out how to do like invite people on OBS. I know that you could do it, but let me figure that out really quick. Yeah, it's gonna let me figure that out really, really, really fast. But yeah, definitely. I'll get you on here, no doubt. And if you haven't subscribed to Chalk It Up Sports with Tone to Shields, definitely subscribe to his channel if you guys have it. He does a really good podcast with Simone and Lord Brunson. And I usually if I'm working during the day, I have the stream running and I'm just listening and stuff, which is great. They do a good job over there, and he does a great job with his live streams and stuff. So definitely check it out. It's been around a long time, so. Goes to yo Joey. I heard the Sabe ref who threw out Chauncey Gardner Johnson the Commanders game is gonna be refund the rent. Yeah, Sean Smith, I think his name is. Yeah, he's coming back for this game. Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. Let me try to get Tone on here quick. I'm gonna have to turn off my camera for a second, because I don't want my camera to show up on StreamYard. So let me just. What the fuck is this? Okay, hold on. Let me turn the camera off quick, because otherwise it's going to turn on in the other thing, and it's a pain in the fucking balls. So let me just do this. No camera. Okay. And we'll do that. Oh, see, that's what happens. That's what happens every damn time. Let's try this again. So fucking annoying. We're all right though. We good in the hood, bro. Tone, I'll send you this. I'm gonna read super chats as well. But let me this fucking thing is so annoying. All right, let me go on. Let me go to Tone's about to go out of my fucking mind. That's what's about to happen right now. We'll get Tone in here quick. Speak his piece. Why can't I find you on here? Sorry, I'm taking so long, guys. I am trying so hard. No, you're good. You're good. You're good. Hold on. I'll get you in here. It's this whole thing is a pain. I gotta work on some other stuff next year, so. All right, hold on. All right, here you go, Tone. Sorry. I gotta give. There we go. All right, he's got it now. All right, so Tone's gonna join. Let me read these super chats off before I bring him in quick. Let me just read this off real fast. God, you guys are talking so quick. I can't get through this chat. Hold on. Got this. Got this. Let me get through this chat. Hope I don't miss anything. Okay, it wasn't that one. CW Gary says everyone's going. If Jalen did this, if Jalen did that, saying goes, if it was a fifth, we would be all drunk. Yeah, pretty much. I'm tired of hearing it, bro. You know how it is. You know how it is. CW Gary says anyone else knows Triple H commenting on Quinion Botch pedigree celebration? I did not see that. No. You know what? I didn't even find out that was even a pedigree celebration that they did, which was kind of weird. It was actually really weird. I was kind of like, oh, okay, that's cool. Like, I didn't even know. And we got a super chat from Dank Bergang says, people forget 22. Jalen had 154 versus the Giants and 121 versus San Francisco in the playoffs. The fact that we lost with 300 plus passing in the Super Bowl shows the team. It's a team game. Yes, special teams, defense, but obviously we know that the passing game's got to look better. I think we all know this. Let me see if he joined. I don't know if he did. All right, he didn't join yet. Okay. He didn't join yet. We're not going to see Tone's. We're not going to see Tone on video because Tone, you could just talk through. You don't have to show yourself, obviously, because it's not going to show you anyway. So you gotta show your piece here. Let me deactivate my camera and activate it again, so we're not like all different fucking colors. Okay, great. This is awesome. Let me turn my headphones on just so I could hear if he jumps in or not. Okay. Here we go. All right. Elias's Ram defense has been playing much better, but seems like mostly due to the D line, so I don't expect it to be a big of a problem. No, not with 9 sacks last week. No. Darnold turned to a fucking pumpkin, unfortunately. All right, we got Tone in here. Let's get him in. Yo.
My God, how you feeling?
I'm good. Late night. I'm chilling. I'm getting prepared for this weekend, dude. I'm gonna see what happens, and obviously dealing with what we have to deal with, the outside noise and everything else that's going on.
Yeah, it's funny. I was listening to your stream, my man, and also thanks again for taking the time out to bring me on.
Of course.
I know it was a little bit of a headache, so
No, you're fine.
I definitely gotta say I appreciate you for that, and definitely shout out to the people. I love the work you do, obviously, man. I always tell people you're one of the first channels I ever saw, and you kind of gave me that green light, like, yo, listen, like, yo, this is something I could do. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I definitely want to shout out you for that. But no, I was hearing you talk about the Jalen Hurts thing, and people have really been losing their part of my language, but people have been losing their fucking minds about this game.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not really, well, I understand it, but I feel like at this point, people need to really be a little bit more mature about what we're trying to do here. And when you're in the playoffs, let's be honest about this. Every mistake is magnified.
Mhm.
Sometimes you can't recover from certain turnovers. I mean, we watched so many quarterbacks over the past week turn the ball over multiple times in these games, and we've seen guys time and time again who people like to claim is better than Jalen Hurts fold in the moment. We've seen Justin Herbert fold in the moment on more than one occasion. We've seen,
Mm.
we just saw Jordan Love fold in the moment.
Mhm.
We watched Sam Darnold fold in the moment. Somebody that they've tried to crown. You feel what I'm saying? And um, it blows my mind how somebody can ultimately be efficient, throw 2 touchdowns, not turn the ball over, start the game off strong. Granted, again, he started off strong, had a rough second quarter stretch, had a rough first drive in the third, but I mean, listen, he started the game 6 for 6. Then he missed his next 7 passes. Fair enough. Then
Mhm.
he ended the game 7 for 8. So he started strong and ended strong. And ultimately, you won the game by double digits. You beat them by 2 touchdowns, and you didn't even
Mm.
have your best game. And you went up against a top 5, top 6 defense.
Yeah.
What are we talking about here?
Yeah, when was he cleared from protocol? Was it the Wednesday?
He was limited. He was officially declared limited on Wednesday, so he was able to resume activities on Wednesday, but he was limited.
So
And I'm sorry, go ahead.
how many practices did he have that week?
So Wednesday he was limited. Thursday they practice. I think Friday they practice as well, and then Saturday I think they have their final team meeting.
Mm.
So I think he had one limited practice and 2 full practices. But also remind you, right? And I figured this out, from my man Gate City, Steve Hyder. He
Right,
said
right.
that he said you're not able to. He said you're not able to even look at film until you get cleared past phase 2, and we have no idea when he was cleared past phase 2.
Jesus.
So he was already behind the 8 ball in terms of preparing for this matchup.
So they gave him a below average offense to deal with because of just they didn't have much of a game plan for him because of the short week and where he was at, and that's what it looked like because of that.
That's what I think. I mean, look, we can nitpick, and a lot of people are going to always take their angle at Jalen Hurts. Listen,
Right.
I tell people all the time on my show, look, I'm not trying to convince you at this point. It's a lot of people that's already made their mind up about Jalen Hurts. They can't be convinced at all. But but the reality is, when you think about it in context and think about it in fairness,
Mm.
he was in concussion protocol for the longest time. They clearly decided that, we're going to sit him in week 18. We're never going to even try to force him out there. They wanted to make sure he was good to go for the game, for the playoff game that mattered. And they to your point, I feel like they gave him an abbreviated game plan.
Yeah.
The game plan looked like a preseason game plan, honestly. And I wouldn't be surprised if the coaches said, "Listen, we're already behind the 8 ball. This is what we're going to do. We're going to lean on our defense. We're going to lean on our run game. We're going to be the more physical team. We're going to out talent these guys, and we're going to control the time of possession. We're
Right.
going to do it that way." And you know, the defense obviously did their job, but better than I thought they would, actually.
Yeah.
But the fact that you started the game out forcing a turnover on the opening kickoff set the tone for the game. I mean, listen, this is a team sport, Joey.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, it grinds my gears when people act like the game is solely won and lost by the quarterback.
Yeah, when I remember I went on Twitter, I remember you know, you're like after Herbert threw those 4 picks, you're like, I'm gonna check. You're like, I'm checking certain people's, credibility. Some of these guys have these podcasts, whether they're, these NFL outlets. You're on the hunt for anybody to say one good thing about um that quarterback from that game, from Justin
Absolutely,
Herbert.
because
Yeah.
it's frankly unacceptable, bro.
Yeah.
It's unacceptable. You have people out here who get paid all this money, and look, at this point, for doing this content for as long as we have,
Right.
we should know, we should already know what it is, right? But I just feel like these guys get paid all this money on national television, and they're basically getting paid to lie.
Mm.
They're getting paid to, maintain relationships with certain teams and athletes. And look, this is an, this is another thing that I try to keep in mind too, right? And it's a gift and a curse. Philadelphia, as you already know, we are a top 5 sports market, no matter how you slice it.
Right.
And when it comes to football, we're easily the most polarizing team in football outside of when the Patriots were at their peak. So I can't think of a team outside of the Cowboys that moves the needle like we do.
Yeah.
Like it's at a point now where, like, bro, think about this, right? Think about all the football that we've seen over Wild Card Weekend, and the narrative is Jalen Hurts a liability? He won, and he
I
didn't turn
know.
the ball. He's getting more criticism than quarterbacks that, quite frankly, were the liabilities over the weekend.
I know.
But it's so. I'm sorry. Go
I
ahead.
no, I think it comes down to like they're like these, I don't know, whoever's rating these quarterbacks, like they're looking for like the flashy type QBs that will, I feel like all they care about is garnishing more viewership, whether it's a game, whether it's a topic that, they make these guys want to talk about during these podcasts. Like I can't feel like a lot of these guys are true to their word in what they say, because I feel like they're forced to say something, or like, look, it's all about like, look, like with us, we've been around for a while as content creators, but like we might talk about something that everybody's gonna fucking hate totally. I mean, I know for a fact that I talk about things, I know I'm gonna get shit for it, but
Mhm.
I can't not, you gotta say what's in front of you, man. You gotta keep you gotta keep the thing going, with
Yeah,
everything being said.
you're
So
right. I mean, it's no way the conversation should be about Jalen Hurts when Jordan Love, somebody who's now officially the highest paid quarterback in football, and he threw 3 interceptions. He's the high. Justin Herbert gets paid more than Jalen Hurts. You
yeah,
know, Jordan Love, he gets paid more than Jalen Hurts. Sam Darnold, well, his situation is kind of jacked up now because he literally just threw the money into the fireplace. Like he was losing money by the throw. It was insane. But look, outside of that, man, I look at Jalen Hurts as a quarterback, and it's funny. He's talked about it all the time. He's fully aware. I think this is what I like about Jalen Hurts. He's fully aware of how he's perceived,
mhm,
and he talks about it in the press conferences. He says, "Listen, I know a lot of people don't like the way it looks, but the bottom line is this is playoff football." And I'm paraphrasing, but like, you know, he said, "This is playoff football. Stats don't mean anything. The goal is to survive another week. The goal is to survive in advance." And I love what Saquon said. I loved how Saquon said at the end of the game, he said, "Listen, I don't care if we have 400 passing yards, 400 rushing yards. Listen, I don't
yeah,
look, even if we win 3-0, I don't give a fuck." You know what I'm saying? Like
right,
he's like, "Listen, I'm trying to win. I'm trying to win football games. I'm trying to win at the highest level." You know what I mean? Like, let's be honest about this. Like every time Patrick Mahomes has won a Super Bowl, his numbers weren't gaudy. The one time he had big numbers in the Super Bowl, he lost, and that was against Tom Brady and
mm,
the Bucks.
right,
So I'm not I'm not in this for the numbers, and I'm so glad our quarterback knows how to prioritize winning. You have a lot of quarterbacks who would have a problem with Saquon being the being the fire starter for the offense. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of quarterbacks that want to be the guy.
right,
And Jalen Hurts, he has no ego when it comes to this thing. No ego. And you know, I look at this team from top to bottom. I have no doubt in my mind we can go all the way. And what's going to be more fascinating about it, what's going to be the most dope thing about it, is that people are going to have to look at the film and say, "I don't get it. How? I don't get it.
yeah, yeah,
I I don't get how this guy did it. I can't wait because every damn day these guys are trying to figure out how is Jalen Hurts doing this? How is he the most successful quarterback out of his draft class? How does he have more wins than Joe Burrow? How does he have more wins than Justin Herbert? How does he have more wins than Tua and all these guys? Jordan Love obviously was behind the 8 ball because he was behind Aaron Rodgers,
right,
but how is Jalen Hurts the most winningest quarterback in his draft class when he was the last one drafted out of those top 5 guys? How was
right,
this possible? The guy that we thought would be a career backup, the guy that we thought would have to change his position. How was this guy doing this? There's so many guys who hate the fact that he's in the position he's in. And
yeah,
because he's winning, they try to attribute
yeah.
him winning to everything else. Everything else.
Yeah, because he could throw 16 to 21 times. Like, that's all he has to throw. Like, all he has to do is be average. Like, that's you would think, like, when a quarterback has to do less to win games every week, you'd think they'd be more respected, but they're not, unfortunately. Like,
Right.
if this Eagles team, like, you know, scored 3, 4 field goals and kicked, and threw a Hail Mary for a touchdown, you think Hurts would be respected for that, for winning on a Hail Mary throw? Probably not. If Hurts threw 4 or 5 picks in a game, would he still be respected? Probably not.
Mm.
I mean, and it's happened to other quarterbacks. Like, it's just we're on a roll here. This is a one and done situation. You can't fuck around with statistics. You don't have another week to, you don't have another week now. It's another, like, you lose, you get ready for next year. That's it. Like, you're done. Like, um, I just, even when we lost, like, I think, like, after I don't know where this fan base is going, bro. I don't know. Like, there's been a huge shift, like, since from 17,
You said that
and
earlier, and I think that's why I wanted to come on
yeah,
because I was listening to you when you said that. It made me really think about what changed.
yeah,
And obviously, when you win one, the expectations do change, right? Now that you know you can do it, you want more, and I think that's normal, right? But it seems like there's been this influx of people who are beyond beyond just fans. Like they're almost like emotional. Like they're not as invested as the people who've really been on this ride. They're fair weather fans, right? They only keep up with the team during the season.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? You, guys like me, guys like other content creators, we're locked in on this team all year round.
right.
No matter what happens during the season, no matter what happens during the off season. We had to survive the Jalen Rager draft.
Oh yeah,
You feel what I'm saying? Like, so when you think about it from that perspective, it's like, and you're right, there has been a shift. And I think it's these fair weather fans who think they know every damn thing. And they're so quick to say a guy is not good. And it's just also I think fantasy football and betting has kind of really changed the way people view the game in general. Now
yeah,
it's all about a guy getting numbers, and if a guy doesn't hit a certain benchmark,
yeah,
he's trash or he's mid. Like I even hate the term mid because where I come from, if you got a pack of mid, it'll get you by. You know what I'm saying? but
yeah.
but now mid is like bad.
Let,
Like
let,
the whole we're just in a
like
weird spot right
like
now in Eagles fandom.
the Eagles ended up in a big fucking hole. They win a Super Bowl, and then they just had bad draft. I think really the next. I think obviously when they drafted Goddard, Miles Sanders, that was an okay draft. We got some hits in that
Right.
draft, but really ever since the Super Bowl, like, they weren't drafting consistently great. They were They were moving the money for these contracts, kicking the can down the road, and all these restructuring players, not on a year-to-year basis from past achievements, and it finally caught up to them. It finally caught up to them, obviously, on a few years stretch down the road. And now you're drafting a lot better now. I mean, the biggest problem that we have, I would have to say, is that, this quarterback needs to, um there's gotta be some type of consistency with the coaching staff and not changing quarterbacks where he needs changing, coordinators where you
Coordinators. Yeah.
have to, have some consistency with terminology and can be with somebody for a few years, and this is why, like, KC has been very successful is the way they have because they keep their play calling in-house. Doesn't matter, like, Andy Reid can call the plays. He can have any type of coordinator that's helping him game plan things, but he's
Mhm.
the boss at the end of the day. Spags has been there since 2018. Who has a defensive coordinator in there for 5 fucking years, 6 years, whatever it
Yeah.
was?
Yeah.
Teams don't like, coaches don't stay around for that long. This team, unfortunately, like, it's already enough that, like, this is the first year where Hurts is learning, like, a pro ready offense because Kelsey's taken over a lot of, taking the mantle for some of the protections and taking some pressure off Jalen Hurts the last couple years. And then there's a whole Kellen Moore aspect now where you're like, he's visiting the Saints, he's visiting the Jags, and now potentially he could go back to the Cowboys if they don't get Deion Sanders. I know they're doing Robert Salah. They're interviewing a bunch of other ones now because they're kind of late in the
Mhm.
process now. So it's like, with Nick, you can't go back to square one now. It's like you're literally just gonna go back to where you were at, and then a new guy's gonna come in. I mean, it's that's really my only issue because this quarterback can't get a fucking break when it comes to staying with somebody for a few years.
I really couldn't agree with you more. And I feel like that's you said it right. The luxury that a guy like Patrick Mahomes has, and listen, people, we're not comparing him to Patrick
No,
Mahomes.
no,
Okay? I
no.
want sometimes you got to say that say that to the people in the back, right? But Patrick Mahomes came into the league very raw. People forget that he came into the league very raw, and he sat his first season. He was behind Alex Smith,
Right, right.
and he was able to actually watch, and he had the luxury of being with a guy like Andy Reid and a guy like Patrick Mahomes with that kind of talent and the way he plays the game. If he goes to the wrong organization, he would be terrible if he goes to the wrong organization because they don't know how to nurture that skill set, right? We see a guy like Caleb Williams. We see the natural gifts that he's had. We've seen him play. We know Caleb Williams knows how to play football. He has his ability to throw out these arm angles. He's talented,
Mm,
but he's with the Bears.
yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, imagine if Caleb Williams would have got with Sean Payton rather than Bo Nix. Think about that. So, I can't look at Jalen Hurts and say it's entirely his fault that he hasn't progressed at the level that he probably could have progressed at, right? Because he's had constant coaching turnover. His rookie year, he had Doug Peterson and who was the OC at that time? I can't even remember. Um, he had Doug. He had Doug Peterson, his first year, and
Mm,
then he came in and he got drafted into chaos with the whole Carson Wentz stuff, and then
right.
he took over. He took over in 2021. Nick Sirianni comes in, and geez, man, Shane Steichen,
Shane
his rookie
Steichen, right,
year,
right.
and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that was his first time he had a guy for two consecutive years. And you saw the jump Jalen Hurts made from year one as a
Mhm.
starter to year two as a starter. It was insane. Like,
Yeah.
can you imagine if he had another year with Shane Steichen, or if Shane Steichen was still here?
Yeah, I
It
know.
makes me it really makes me wonder how good this brother would have been. And you even said it with the whole Jason Kelsey part, right? Like, Hurts should have been calling protections from the beginning.
Right.
And I feel like his development has kind of been put on the back burner because they wanted to bring him along slowly, or because obviously you had a Hall of Famer up there that knew what he was doing, and not many guys have that luxury. So he was put in a situation that was beneficial, I guess, for a young guy, but also in the long run, it probably is catastrophic for his overall development. And we
Yeah.
saw and we see it this year, right? The first time he's able to call his own protections, all of a sudden he's significantly better at picking up the blitz. Significantly
Oh,
better.
yeah. Yeah.
So, listen, Jalen Hurts got drafted into a very, very good situation. And, even through the coaching turnover, the fact that he's in an organization that takes winning seriously, and they understand that, hey, if we want our guy to if we want to maximize our guy's potential, we got to surround him with talent, right? I don't like when people try to use that as a crutch or use that as a weakness.
Right.
If every GM wants to surround their quarterback with as much talent as they possibly can. They want that. And the bottom line is Harry Roseman is the best at moving the numbers around. He's the best at um, you know, finding the right people and finding players who want to get out of their current situation. And he's really good at that. He's a patient dude and he's good at making decisions, but it's going to be really difficult to maintain consistency at that OC position if you're going to continue to have the success they're having, right? And part of it, you got to ask yourself, right? Like, it's like everyone wants these new young hot and ready coordinators.
It's
But the thing is, like, it's hard to keep those guys in the building when you have them.
yes.
And guys also want, again, they want the young guy, but
Mhm.
at the same time, like, okay, if you want to keep a guy in the building, you got to go older. Like Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio was going to retire here.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
think that and I think that's the best thing that could have happened to this defense. When you drafted a guy like Quinyon Mitchell, you drafted Cooper DeJean, you got all these young Georgia boys and SEC guys, and right, you have young guys that are in such a perfect situation as it pertains to their development on defense. And you see the jump they made from week one up until now, just one season with Fangio, and he's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So just imagine how good they're going to be next year. We need
Yeah.
that kind of
Yeah.
consistency on the offensive side, but it's hard because most of the young guys in coaching are on offense and they always want a job. But I also give a lot of credit to somebody who has did it really smart, right? I want to give credit to guys like Bobby Slowick, and I want to give credit to guys like Ben Johnson. Bobby
Right,
Slowick's
right.
in Houston, he's in Houston, and Ben Johnson's is in Detroit. Ben Johnson has been there since Dan Campbell's gotten there, and they've slowly built that thing year by year by year. And Ben Johnson and Bobby Slowick could have got head coaching jobs last year. You know what they
Yeah.
said? They say, you know what? Nah, we're going to stay another year where we are because we don't like the situations that are available. So I
Right.
respect those guys for taking control of their careers, and I also and it also shows what it looks like when a team and a quarterback is able to really develop with his OC. Jared Goff has taken a new leap in his career. You see what that offense has
Oh,
become,
yeah. Yeah.
right? You see what CJ Stroud was able to do his rookie year. Granted, he had some struggles this year, but I think that goes beyond just him. Their offensive line is terrible. But you see what it's like when a guy has consistency at the OC or the DC position, right? And the Eagles defense is going to have that for at least the next 3 to 4 years.
How long's Joe Brady been in Buffalo?
Ooh, you know what's so funny about that? He wasn't originally the OC. The original OC was uh
I forgot who
he
it
get,
was.
they fired him midway last year.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember. Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
um I forget his name. I think his name starts with a K.
Mm.
But he got fired midway last year because they felt like he was kind of cultivating this risk heavy offense for Josh Allen. And then, Brady comes in, takes over, and he says, "Listen, we're not going to just be a gunslinger, okay? We're going to run the ball and we're going to use our superpower when it matters most." And that's what the Bills have become. They're very run heavy this go around.
Oh, yeah.
As a matter of fact, when you think about passing offenses and pass attempts per game, Buffalo used to be at the top of the league. Do you know where Buffalo is now in terms of, as a matter of fact, let me see if I can get this right here.
It's
So,
probably amazing.
Buffalo in 2023, Buffalo was averaging over 34 pass attempts per game. Now Buffalo is averaging 30.3 pass attempts per game.
Mm.
So that's give or take. Some games he may throw it 27 times, he may throw it 31 times, but they cut down his attempts. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And um, the Eagles last year, they were averaging 33 pass attempts per game. They cut it down to 26. Let me give you some context, man. All the teams in terms of pass attempts, right? I'm going to go to the bottom of the league because the Eagles are ranked 32nd
Okay.
because passing yards and pass attempts is low key overrated. The Eagles are ranked 32nd in pass attempts with 26.
Yeah. Understandable.
Baltimore is 31st with 27 attempts.
Mm.
Green Bay is 30th with 28 attempts. Pittsburgh is 29th with 29 attempts. The Chargers are 28th with 30 attempts. The Colts are 27th with 30 attempts. Buffalo is 26th with 30 attempts. Washington is 25th with 31 attempts. So I literally just mentioned one,
So
two,
why the
three,
criticism?
four,
Why is all
five, six, 7 playoff teams. That's half of the guys. That's half of the teams in the playoffs. Half of the teams in the playoffs are literally ranked 25th or lower in pass attempts per game.
Jesus.
But for some reason, Jalen Hurts is the guy being carried, and they don't trust him. Baltimore's throwing the ball 27 times a game. That's one more pass than the Eagles.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So it's like these narratives that people like to spin about this lack of passing game we have. People talk about the attempts, the lack of attempts, and talk about the lack of yards, right? But guess what? When it comes to actual um yards per attempt, which speaks to how potent your passes are, the Eagles are in the top 10. The Eagles are ranked 7th in the league in passing yards per attempt
Mm.
with 7.8. Minnesota is 6th, Tampa Bay is 5th, Green Bay is 4th, San Francisco's 3rd, Detroit's 2nd, Baltimore's 1st. So and Buffalo's 8th. So again, and the Chargers are 10th. So now all those teams who are throwing the ball less, those same teams are ranked in the top 10 in terms of passing yards per attempt. So they cut down on the attempts and they've increased the effectiveness of their attempts.
Right. Right.
So people are looking at this game all wrong, and they're so caught up in the fantasy football aspect of it. Like Josh Allen has thrown the least amount of passing touchdowns in his career.
Mm.
Like as far as same thing with yards, I think if I'm not mistaken. Like Josh Allen he didn't throw over 4,000 yards this year. Josh Allen is perennially for throwing over 4,000 yards.
Right. Right.
These teams are understanding that you need a run game. And leaning on your passing game all year long is not the way to win.
No, it's not. Mm-mm.
But Joey, I done monopolized your time, my
No,
man.
you're fine. No, you're fine.
I just got I got on my soapbox, my man. It's just that, I just had to get that on my chest, bro. I'm about to eat my food, man. I
Yeah.
really do appreciate you for giving me the time to just speak my piece, bro. But before I go, I just want people to understand that whatever these national guys are saying, I'm telling you, it's not the whole truth. And sometimes it's not the truth at all. It's not the truth at all.
Yeah.
And Joey, I'll leave it at that, man. I got a lot of love for you, bro.
Yeah, you too, man.
We definitely got to do this thing, officially, of course, whether I come on your channel or
Yeah.
you come on mine. Whatever, however we got to get it done, we'll get it done, man. But it's definitely going to happen after we win this Sunday because we smoking the motherfucking Rams. You feel me?
Oh, yeah.
They
No, we're
can't
getting it.
they can't stop the run, bro.
No, they
They
can't.
can't stop it at
No.
all. They too small.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Mailata is going to have his foot on Jared versus neck.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a long night for those guys. And I'll leave it at that, brother. You take care, all right?
You too, man. Thank you for coming on, man. Appreciate it so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you, man. And sorry
Yeah.
about messing up the
No,
flow.
you're
I know it's
good.
kind
No,
of
no, it's my streams are always random, so you're good.
All right, my
All
man.
right.
Take care. All right.
You too, man. Thanks. That was Tone to Shields, everybody. If you guys haven't subscribed to him, make sure you go type in Chalk It Up Sports and go subscribe to his channel. Tone, I've known Tone for years, by the way. And he's a really good guy, knows his shit. And, I'm special ed when it comes to Eagles content. I'm just speaking emotionally, every day. But that was Toad to Shields, everybody. All right. Now we got a super chat from TW says the people hating on Jalen sound the same Eagle fans saying Chip Kelly was a good coach for training Shady, Deshaun, and Foles, for which I say stop eating crayons. The blue doesn't taste like blueberry. Oh yeah, look, it was scheme over. Chip Kelly loved the scheme over. He felt like he could have anybody in his scheme, and it would be as successful than having high talented guys, keeping them happy. So we know how that happened. We know how that went out. But yeah. It's a big fucking game this week. I'm telling you, man. Like I'm telling you, people are talking about this team in the wrong way. We have a lot more. We're about to find out. This Sunday. Greg Mills, I believe the Eagles-Rams game will be won in the trenches. Here, I believe the Eagles will dominate on both sides of the football. I believe it, man. I believe it. Clark Jalen's terrible fantasy. Well, I mean, for the people that want to pick him in fantasy, it is what it is. I went to the game on Sunday at the link, and there were mad fans in line with me asking me what I thought about the bets. I told them not to bet and just enjoy the game. Yeah. I don't do fantasy because I'm too fucking biased. I couldn't do that shit at all. Yo, Pat, what's going on, man? I can't even see fly ball at a Phillies game anymore without seeing an ESPN bet sign. Oh, man. Clark, I want constant OC. We got Vic, so stay. We can please get an OC. Yeah, I mean that's really the biggest problem. What happens with Kellen Moore after this year? I don't know, man. This is what I'm talking. We can't even keep an OC more than a fucking year, dude. Like I wish Kellen, if Kellen is looking for jobs right now, then he obviously is looking for a head coaching job, and he has no plans to stay with the Eagles. I mean, unless he gets beaten out by a few of these guys, I don't know. He's going to get beaten out for head coaching jobs. There's no doubt. But Dallas is probably the only spot I could see him going back to. That's probably the only. I mean, I don't know, man. Like, I think Dallas fans are going to backtrack because, oh, wait till you get Kellen Moore. Look what he does in the playoffs. Just watch what happens. Like, they're going to be backtracking if they re-sign Kellen Moore again. But I don't know what's going to happen there. I have no idea. No idea. But we have 184 in the chat. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Like the stream, guys. Appreciate it so much. Check the pinned comment for memberships because extra draft content. We're going to have draft content on the channel regularly, but for the extra reactions and going over specific prospects and things like that, definitely pick up a membership for as little as $2 a month. It's nothing. You want to gift memberships to a bunch of people. I didn't know gifting was actually on here again. I thought they took it away from me, but I do appreciate it so much from everybody. Appreciate Tone for coming in as well. A lot of fucking know-it-alls, man, in this fan base. A lot of know-it-alls. Um, me and Tone were talking about obviously Eagle fans, criticisms of other type of Eagle fans showing up out of nowhere, and I've run into some of those people. I've had people make videos on me like that because of things, I've said in the past about the team, and I'm not always right, I'm not always wrong, and sometimes I am wrong, you know. It is what it is. Obey says, why would an OC even want to leave other than money? I mean, I think they just want to have that on their resume. I think, as an OC, you always dream of being a head coach. But yeah, I think if it's not money, then I guess it's just like, having that title in the resume and, winning a Super Bowl as a head coach. Man, I don't know what the biggest dream is as being a head coach. Having decisions for the draft, having decisions for I can as a head coach, I can help the GM put a really good team together. I don't know what it is to be honest with you. Chadwick, what's going on, man? So the thing is, we don't put games away as we have chances. We rely on the D way too much. They need rest. Hurts needs to move the ball. Well, yeah, but I think the game plan was really bad last game. But there's going to be a game, and like I said, this happened this past season. Okay, where what if the defense doesn't, what if the defense doesn't have a great game and you have to rely on your offense? You know what I mean? And then, and then if your offense is looking lackluster, you're going to run into a big problem. You know what I mean? Like the defense has been flawless since the bye week. They have been flawless. So, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Let's see here. Let's see. Yo, Mern, what's going on, man? So, can you imagine if Washington versus Eagles championship game would be crazy? I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it. I think third time's a charm, bro. And you would give us another home game, and I would be happy as hell to have Washington come to Philadelphia. I would be looking forward to that game. And obviously, that would be a big, I mean, it's an NFC East matchup in the playoffs. I mean, that would be a fucking big game. That's a big game. Honestly, the amount of attention that Washington gets with Jaden Daniels now, like I feel like it would be I think for Philly, it would be a bigger game than going to Detroit. I think televised, I think Washington and Philadelphia at the link in Philadelphia would be it would be a huge, huge game nationally. Huge game. I mean, every game is always a huge game nationally, but that game would be, yeah, that'd be nuts. No doubt. 5 Star says, yeah, you're right. Where did all these Eagle fans come from? It's mind blowing. I don't know. I don't know. Rio says, I want NFL to ban talking to coaches for hiring during the playoff. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, obviously, if there's an OC that's a bad OC, like, you wanna try to move him after a year if you feel like he's not doing a good job or something like that. But I don't know, like the Eagles can't block Kellen Moore from getting interviews, head coaching interviews. They could block him from getting OC interviews because it's a higher position. They can't block him from getting that, you know. Who the fuck wants to see the Rams to be in the NFC Championship game? Nobody. Just like Tone said, they got a small defense. I've been telling you, that defensive line had 9 sacks on the Vikings. That's not happening, bro. I'm telling you right now, like you think you're gonna fucking do that? You ain't doing that. You ain't doing that shit. Rounds another opportunity, win or go home. Let's go get it. How you feeling about the matchup, brother? Rams playing some good. Yeah, they're playing well right now. I mean, honestly, I think I think the Vikings made them look even better last week. To be honest with you, like that offensive line couldn't hold. That quarterback was just flustered that entire game, especially after the second quarter. Going into the second half, that was just horrible. They were waving the white flag at that point. Um, you know, And I think the protection started to break down. There was a couple calls that weren't called for the Vikings. But I think matchup wise, I think this is going to be one in the trenches. Honestly, I think Saquon Barkley is going to have a big game. Just like Tone says, they're undersized, which I agree with. Their defensive line is totally undersized. Like I think Saquon gets to the second level, he could pull another 200-yard fucking game. He could pull another 200-yard game, and he had his best game against the Rams earlier in the season with 255. Not saying he's going to get 255, but I think it's going to be amazing. Blackbeard Sports, I think Vic should play Trotter instead of Burks. I think he is. I don't think Burks is playing. The only thing that Burks I don't like as a run supporter, downhill linebacker, I think he's great. And he's a great special teamer, obviously. He's made a lot of tackles this year. He's been pretty good with us, but when it comes to the passing aspect and coverage, he's not really that good, guys. Not really that good at all. Unfortunately, seen some things from him, deer in headlights, blown some coverages. So I don't think in the passing game he's anything special. But we have to throw Trotter there, see what he could do, and I think a lot of Eagle fans are happy about the situation, going forward. So we'll see how it goes. Lonzo, I bet the Link ordered a fleet of carts for the Rams. A fleet of carts. Young boy Majesty said, "Yo, Joe, if your Kellen is going to pull again, focus more on the next position than what's in." Yeah, I think people were getting nervous. I'm not gonna lie, I thought of that too while the game was going on. Like Kellen Moore is going through all these interviews and like he's not fully focused on his game plan. But you guys got to think like Jalen Hurts literally had a half week of practice. Did not throw at the team for 3.5 weeks. Like literally had no game plan for this game. Like this game plan was the most. It was literally like like Tone said before. It was like a preseason game. Like some of these, like it was just so generic. This offense was so generic. There was no creativity. It was a real shitty game plan for the week because of the amount of time that Hurts fucking had off. And I think that's a big part of it too. And I think people got to realize that, But Gannon did what he did, and that was absolutely horrible. Unfortunately. So that's where we're at with that whole situation. But this stream is sponsored by BetUS, guys, so definitely go check them out if you guys have not. Appreciate it so much. See here. Yeah, what's the weather? I might have missed it in the chat when everybody was talking about it. I heard there's snow. Is there snow going on? Kyle says, "Hey Joey, I want the kid from Ohio State, Jack Sawyer, edge rusher." Yeah, there's a bunch of them, man. I mean, you heard what Abdul had to say. From Penn State had to say about being on the Eagles would be a dream. Hopefully, he's not another Micah Parsons with a bad fucking attitude. That's what I hope he's not. But I think this team is getting even the more motivation that they're getting from all of the outside noise that they can't do this and they can't do that. Everything realistically, and they hear it all, and I think that's only going to motivate them entirely, So it's supposed to snow, huh? Snow 2.0? Like that bad? Like really like that bad? Des says our fan base is always scared, saying if we don't do certain things, we won't win. All this fear if Jalen Hurts doesn't do this, we won't win. If where's our swagger? Yeah, there's a lot of Eagle fans that are like that. We gotta stop talking about them and start talking about we. You know what I mean? Like because I don't think you know what I mean. Because like I think the biggest difference to this team is actually you have a defense now. You actually have good linebackers now. You actually have good cornerbacks now. You have a good secondary. You have good safeties. Like I think that's been really the biggest difference maker now. Your defensive line is doing pretty damn good. Nolan Smith. Did you see Nolan Smith? I mean, 2 fucking sacks. I mean, a couple tackles for Nolan Smith is I eat my fucking words, man. I eat my fucking. I made a few videos about eating my words on specific players. On Gainwell, that looked good in that Steelers game with Gainwell. If they use Gainwell like that, I mean, Jesus, they made him look like a dual threat back. I mean, these inside zone handoffs seem kind of boring at times, but man, when they use Kenneth Gainwell in the passing attack, I was like, damn, like I didn't know that kid had it in him. Like I didn't think that you could actually pull that out of him, but they fucking did that. They totally did that. 55% chance though. Eagle Slayer. EC1 says, with the rumors swirling around, Vrabel actually took the time to talk to Brown. Yeah, I saw the stupid news. That's just dumb news. That's just like they brought it up to him for some reason. I don't know. This AJ Brown trade. I don't know. Like AJ would. I mean, that would never happen. It's just a waste of time to talk about. Oh no, no, last year. Oh, it totally did. Totally did. But it broke me too. It broke me a little bit because I didn't want to hear what Nick had to say through the offseason program. I didn't care. Every press conference that Nick had, I never even watched. I just didn't care. Yeah, it was questioning. It really was. It was questioning if he was going to get involved in play calling too much. It was very questioning on if he's going to trust his coordinators and like literally, he has to trust his coordinators and the rest of his coaching staff to produce these guys. So I had some PTSD. There's no doubt, but I didn't have PTSD the entire fucking year. You know what I mean? I mean, you didn't score 30 plus points with your offense last year. What took you far last year was the talent. If they didn't have the talent that they had, I mean, they would have done nothing last year. You didn't score over 30. You never had a 30 plus game, or at least almost that. I mean, I don't even know if they had 30 plus points last year. I don't think they did in a game offensively. They barely ran the fucking football, at specific moments. Like, you upgraded a lot of positions. You had a killer draft, and Vic Fangio isn't going anywhere. So, your defense is taken care of until he retires. And, as a defensive coordinator, especially a coach that stays with a team for as long as they could stay, especially as a coordinator, you got control over every layer of this offense or this defense. Fangio knows every player in and out year after year, having control of who he brings in, how he's going to use specific guys. So we will see. Xander Van Ellis, what's going on, man? So a lot of us still have that swagger that our team will whoop that ass. There's still a lot of us left. Oh, basis, how can we upgrade this team next year other than edge rushers? I mean, potentially they need to figure out what they're doing with Kenneth Gainwell. They need to figure out what they're doing now with Kenneth Gainwell. He's probably going to be a free agent. I don't think they're re-signing him, but they need to find out if Will Shipley's going to be the guy that behind Saquon Barkley. Dallas Goedert's future with another year left on his contract, and we need to see what's going on with him. Because of his injuries he's had, and obviously he's $12 million cap hit next year, missing too many games. Edge rusher, I think they still need a guy. I honestly don't think I used to think before really when Nolan started really taking off, like obviously Bryce Huff hasn't worked out. Bryce Huff had literally one snap last game. Didn't really do much. But I used to if Nolan Smith didn't produce this year, I figured, they need to go sign a veteran. Without giving up a first-round pick, they need to sign a veteran defensive end and go draft one and double dip in that. If they lose Graham realistically, if they lose Graham and Sweat and it's just Nolan Smith, they might have to double down edge rusher. They might have to trade for one and try not to give up a lot of, a first-round pick for one, and they need to go get one in the draft. They might have to double down and get a veteran and get a young guy. I'm not saying first round. I mean, they should get a first round talent. If they go second, then that would really be up to them if somebody slides down a little bit. But we'll see what happens with that entire situation. Yo, Clark, have a good night, man. Hope you have a good night, dude. we're gonna be probably getting out of here soon as well. We'll probably have another stream on Friday, most likely. For all you guys, we'll have a call in on Friday. We'll talk, but then we'll have a call in afterwards on what's going on. So that'll probably be the plan for this week. Obviously, we're streaming the game. We're streaming the game on Sunday at 3 Eastern. For instance, Fangio had a lot of success against Sean McVay going back to his Chicago Bears. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Lon says, yeah, take care of Joey on the ECS. You checking out like great. What's going on, man? Appreciate it so much. Yeah, I'm not going to go crazy on like right now. I don't know what they're going to do, but we'll see. Free agency should tell us the tale of what happens. Yeah, Jalen Hunt needs more time, Erica. He needs more time. I think he's definitely an edge rusher that can go into coverage. He's got crazy athletic ability. Obviously, he went to Houston Christian, small school. He was a safety transformed, I think, into a defensive end. He's like 6'3", 250. I mean, he's got size and he's got a lot of athletic ability, like really good athletic ability. Seems like the Eagles really like him as just a pure edge rusher. He needs more time though, bro. I mean, he hasn't really done much of anything as of late. I mean, he'll get pressures here and there, get involved some tackles, but nothing eye-opening too much. Dre says, so then what about Huff? Can we even get out of his contract? Honestly, I don't think Fangio even wanted him. It's weird because they signed him. They traded Hassan Reddick. They signed him to $17 million a year. And then as soon as they had the first training camp press conference with Vic Fangio, someone asked him, "Oh, could Bryce Huff be a 3-down edge rusher?" And he said he's not there yet. I'm like, dude, then why? Like, he can't even be a 3-down edge rusher right now. Then why did he even get signed? Like, I feel like Howie wanted to sign him, and Fangio wasn't a big fan. I just saw there was a big difference in that a little bit. This is off topic. Well, who your top 3 horror characters? Definitely Michael Myers. I would say I like Jason Voorhees a lot. I'm a huge Friday the 13th fan, obviously. So Michael Myers and obviously Leatherface. Those are my top 3. Always be my top 3. Bradbury's just gonna leave. I mean, they're gonna settle. They're gonna make it do like a settlement thing with him and probably just get rid of him. They're not gonna keep him next year. I'd be shocked if they keep him next year. Like, what is he? He's got no value. You can't trade him. He's got no value. Like, what are you going to do? You can't trade him. Like, there's nothing there. There's nothing there like that. Teams are going to have any interest in him. So he's making a lot of fucking money, like $13 million a year, 12, 13 a year to do nothing, realistically. Rupert says, Lions getting greedy with bringing back Montgomery too soon. Looks like we're going to get a Commanders-Eagles NFC championship here at the link, potentially. I mean, just imagine, bro, like second seeded. We've gotten home playoff games so far. We're getting our second home playoff game. And potentially, I hope the Commanders beat them, get hyped up going to Philadelphia. And it's just going to be it's going to be a physical matchup. It's going to be everything on the line for going into the Super Bowl. I'm telling you, it's going to be crazy. Shark, what's going on, man? Appreciate so much for the super chat. So what up, bro? They've been targeting Mitchell more lately. I hope he gets a pick early this game. I mean, he got a pick last game. Shit. I can't even complain about that. A desperation throw by Jordan Love, and he got a nice pick in the end zone, which was a fantastic thing. So couldn't complain about that. But yeah, that's fine. They can target whatever they want, man. They can target whoever they want. He has some value. Yeah, but he didn't play. If I take off for a whole year, you know what I mean? Like, what value do I have? Yeah, he's a veteran, okay. But, like, his play is more important than that. His play is more important than that. You can't get nothing for him. Nothing for him. Let's see. Des says Guantanamo Bay may go off this game. Playing against Jared Verse, Q spells that defensive rookie of the year. Yeah, I just don't think he's going to get it, bro. if there's defensive player of the year, bro, I think honestly, I think Zach Bond should fucking have it. Honestly, you know. Lay said Jane Daniels is serious. Oh, Jane Daniels playing well. I mean, look, I give a lot of respect. If they beat the Lions, I'll give them a ton of respect, no doubt. But honestly, come to Philadelphia, like bad taste in our mouths from that last game. The media just jumping all over that win after Hurts got hurt in that game, pretty much down 21 to fucking nothing, and they take over that game and 5 turnovers for fucking Washington. They still win that game and without Jalen Hurts playing in it. I can't respect that. That's something that we need to put them away. We got to fucking put them away. If it comes down to an NFC championship game in Philadelphia at the Link, we got to put them the fuck away. So, is Slay ready for this game? He's fine. Yeah, he's been getting hurt like every fucking game, bro. I don't know how many times he's gone out with an injury, come back in the game. Christopher Darger says Howie will swindle a second round pick for Bradbury. Yeah. The Saints are our trade, like they are our trade bitches. They really are. Reese say Rams have better head coach, QB, and pass rush. Eagles have a better running back, linebacker, tight end, wide receiver, O-line, and run defense. Rams and Eagles secondaries are a push. Well, what makes the offense work? You're saying you got no value in the quarterback? What makes the offense work? It's the quarterback. There's no proof that any other quarterback in Philadelphia right now could take over these games. Because I'm telling you right now, like ever since like Tanner McKee played in this, took over for a game, took over for half of a fucking game, or at least the last quarter of a fucking game, he was praised. Then the Giants game, he almost threw two fucking drop picks, 2 picks that were fucking dropped. So I think people need to like actually see that there's value in this quarterback. This offense doesn't work without Jalen Hurts. Simple as that. Arthur McQueen says 3 more games to go and it's done. Flaggles fly, bro. It is, bro. It is. But yeah, guys, I think that's gonna be it for tonight, man. We had Tone to Shields in here. Xander says, "Are you smoking something? That team has no shot." Who has no shot? The Commanders have no shot? Or I don't want to step on anybody's toes by saying the wrong thing. Let's see. Oh, basically during the pandemic. Russo, I do not think a 37-year-old Stafford is better than Hurts. I also think Eagles secondary is much better than LA's. Pass rush wise, is the only department in which LA has the edge on. Yeah, yeah, but I don't, I don't think it's as great as everyone thinks it is. I think either you watch the last game against the Vikings and you're like, oh my god, 9 sacks, like. I don't know. I don't know about that. The Eagles did a pretty good job against them. They got thrown around pretty. How do you think the Eagles scored? How do you think the Eagles ran for 255 yards? Barkley had 255 in that game. They didn't do much against the run. I'll tell you that much. So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But all right, guys. But other than that, that's pretty much it. I know it was I literally got back from the movie. I just got back from a movie at like I don't know what time it was. I got back from a late movie, and then I didn't know if I was even streaming tonight. But we're gonna stream again probably Friday. We'll have a video out tomorrow, and then obviously we'll have the shakedown on Saturday. We'll be streaming the game on Sunday, and we'll have a shit ton of content. So we'll be ready to go. All right. You guys, love you all. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for all the memberships. Very grateful. All the support. Look out for that video tomorrow, and we'll be back soon. All right. You guys have a fantastic night, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Shakes what up, follow slide. Peace out, guys. Peace. Peace.